Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at an unlimited Tenko deck. It's pretty self-explanatory as far as healing goes. Robo Golem gives you a really nice healing spell card now, so that is a perfect card for this kind of deck. Zoe is a massive draw engine, which saves you the hassle of having to run too many other draw cards, which is great, and also of course gives you the healing to go along with Tenko. And other than that, you're really just running everything else that you'd normally run in Tenko decks. As much healing as possible, some decent wards, some protection, things like that. So we're going to get right into this and check it out. So our first game here is against Forest. Forest is usually okay to deal with Tenko because, of course, low drops in Forest are very easy to remove. And that's usually a good thing. We should be able to handle that pretty well. No matter what, which is good, so... hopefully we'll be able to handle this as well as we can. So starting off with the Zoe Queen and the Mozeng Holy Water, Unicorn and things like that are going to be quite nice. Unicorn in particular is usually a good counter. Robo Goblin also isn't bad because of course he is going to double trade here at the worst. Ancient Elf, it's a little rough, but it's not the end of the world for us, to be honest. Considering our current situation, we're pretty much just going to heal that one of those damage up and leave our Robo Golem to, of course, fight on the front line. And they're going for a massive amount of assembly droids. Impressive. Lucky it doesn't mean a lot to us. Zoe actually trades into this really well. Zoe's going to do a good job being queen one day. I wish I could have used the golem first, but this is fine and acceptable in my opinion. Since we're going to get some decent draws out of her. She's actually such an amazing draw in this deck. Especially since she fills out your curve quite nicely on 4. They do though now have the, of course, fairy card stuff, which is not fun once they have brambles. Our only really good option here now is to play the Tenko. Getting it out now when we can heal up is the only real advantage we've got. Until next turn when we can of course use Decree and just wipe the board straight up. So, Decree it probably is going to be, especially since we now have 2 of them. Aria the Guiding Fairy again, so going with that, not surprising. Getting traded into the 6th though, that's good for us, being able to save our Evos as much as possible. We've actually got a really nice setup here. Since Gem Princess is going to do a really good job at, of course, removing this 1/1, keeping itself healed up, we're going to gain that extra heal and get even more damage in, especially with Repair mode, giving us a heal as well. So we're actually going to get 4 damage this turn, which is not too bad for a Tenko deck, to be honest. And they did just pass this next turn, which was super weird in my opinion. I'm guessing at this point they'd pretty much given up. And I could have went for lethal easier, but we went for lethal this way, which is fine. As it worked out pretty much perfectly anyway. And for the next match, we're up against Rune.
My barrier is impenetrable. I guess you're looking for a fight.
So now it's just a matter of handling Runecraft. And this hand is okay. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. Zoe was the only nice card, and I'm not using her on her own, so I guess full-on trading up was definitely going to be the right move. Especially since we can just globe on turn 1, maybe even globe on turn 2, into a 3-3, and hopefully 5 and 6 would be really good. And it's not uncommon to see no turn 1 play from Rune. It's good when that happens, but not uncommon. Especially since it looks like they're going the Earth route with Rabbit Mage here. So we don't have a way to deal with Rabbit Mage, it's really just going to be playing by ourselves for the moment. Getting things into our hands, setting up our board is really all we can do. Okay, Mage of Nightfall. Now that is a rough one to deal with, as that is a lot of incoming damage. Especially since we don't have much else to do right now. All we can do is continually heal up. At least once we go for the Tenko play eventually, that's going to be extremely solid.
You're done for.
But we are going to take 9 damage. And we're only going to be able to heal back at least 2 of it next turn. Maybe a bit more if we decide to go down this a different path, but to be honest, there isn't that many options. Zoe is a good one. I mean, who wouldn't want to use Zoe the Queen here? As she's a good trade-off.
Any longer. Head toward home.
Since we can actually get quite a bit of healing done and get some bodies on board. Force our opponent to have to deal with them. We have maxed our hand out though, so we're going to start burning cards. Luckily we've got pretty much everything we need as far as long term. Since we have got, of course, the Tenko and the Dilafay, which is great. So the best card to go with right now is probably Gem Princess. Tenko would have been nice. I could have evolved the 6/6, but I decided to go the big body route and use her instead, since I thought that would be a little bit of a better advantage to have. Plus we got the extra draw, so why not? Mutagenic Bolt. Now this is where things get a little more interesting from now on. So I did decide to throw the Tenko and the Robo-Goblin. Since we're going to heal, these aren't too big issues as long as they don't have a Stormfaller, and now we're actually equal on footing as far as damage goes. They did use the Dance of Death and Piercing Rune, so they're trying to weaken the rats down, which is actually good for us since being at 1 health isn't going to be a problem right this second. We mainly just actually needed to get a little bit of damage in. We've pretty much at this point easily secured the game. So these rats did pretty much completely work against our opponent, which is amazing. So overall, I still do really enjoy playing Tenko Shrine decks, as they're a lot of fun to play and they do a wonderful job at pinging damage, which is one of my favourite mechanics. Repeatable ping damage while healing is great. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. You'll find this deck list in the description below. Until next time, see ya.